Baseball season is in full swing while basketball finished their season with a bang. We'll have the highlights from baseball along with a peek at the NCCAA Tournament for men's basketball. Don't go anywhere because it's all coming up right now on Inside Fresno Pacific Athletics. Welcome to this week's edition of Inside Fresno Pacific Athletics. I'm your host, Katie Rocca. Basketball had one of the best seasons in team history, completing a perfect home season. Coach Wright led his team to a second-place finish in the Pac West and a number 1 seed at the NCCAA Tournament. We caught up with him to talk about where FPU basketball went this season and where we're headed.
For FPUathletics.com, I'm Brandon Tripp, here with head coach Chris Wright of the men's basketball team. We're going to talk a little bit about the season, Coach. You guys had a fantastic first season in Division II and the Pac West. Started off a little bit of rocky, but talk about the expectations for you coming into the season.
You know, it was a great season for us. Early off, we were predicted to finish 7th place with no preseason all-conference guys. And so for us to finish 2nd place in the league and to have the season that we had to win 21 games, I feel it's pretty remarkable.
Talk about the team that finished just above you in Dixie State. One of the most thrilling games that anybody will ever see. Malcolm Griffin got a floater at the buzzer to beat them. Just talk about what that means to you guys, to not only to say that you beat the conference champs, but also that you beat every single team in the league at least once.
Yeah, that's quite an accomplishment for us. I mean, we're the only team in the Pac West to beat every single team. And the Dixie game that you mentioned was, it was a thrilling game. A lot of big plays for us down the stretch. We got up, had a sizable lead early. Dixie came back and took control of the game. I think we were down 6 or 7 with a little under 4 minutes to go and just made play after play down the stretch and were able to pull that out. That was a big win for us.
You guys also went perfect at home throughout the season, including the NCCAA West Region game against the Azusa Pacific. Talk about what that means to you guys. First team ever in FPU history to do it.
Well, that was really big. That's something that we talked a lot about, was being dominant here at home. And I think that we absolutely were. To have that type of home court advantage was big. That's one reason why we won 15 out of our 16 games to close out the season. So that was a big lift for us, no doubt.
In the national tournament, had the best individual performance in FPU history. John Taylor went off for 50 points against Roberts Wesleyan in the first round. Talk about what it was for you, or what it was like for you as a coach to witness a feat like that. Very few players in college basketball ever score 50 in a game.
Yeah, JT's a special player, and to score 50 off 23 shots, that's something, to be honest. I don't know if that's ever been done in college basketball at any level. But yeah, he was a special talent. Second in the country in Division II in scoring, and he had a remarkable season for us. Definitely all the accolades he earned this year was well-deserved.
And talk about some of the other guys on the team that were big contributors. Malcolm Griffin, another guy that came in, transfer from Toledo, and had a great year. Had a couple triple-doubles this season. And just talk about what he meant to the team.
Well, you don't win 21 games without a lot of good performances. And Malcolm was phenomenal. Just did everything for us. I believe he led the conference in assists. Averaged about 18 points a game and was, at times, just a lockdown defender. I mean, I really look forward to seeing what he does next year. Our 4 seniors had great years. Antonio Credit, maybe the, most underrated big man in our league. I thought, he got slided a little bit. He was honorable mention all conference. I definitely thought he deserved to be a little higher, but he had a great year. Really our only true big man besides Tyler that played minutes for us. Ricky Vick, guy that's been here for 3 years, was really the heart and soul, the glue of our team. Great defender. Knocked down some big shots for us throughout the season. I was really proud of the season and career that Ricky had. Anthony Brandt, kind of in the same mode as Rick, lockdown defender, guy that does all the little things that help you win games. A lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet, but he had a phenomenal season. Matt Samuels did an unbelievable job of running our team. We moved him to the point about 7-8 games into the season, and I thought our team really took off from that point. I mean, just a coach's dream to have at that spot, just the way he ran our team, the way, I thought he understood the game and what we were trying to do at all times. He was huge for us. Zach Call, another senior that had a good year. He had some big games off the bench. Always provided a lot of spark and energy. Fun guy to watch. I was proud of the career that Zach had. Trevin Clayton, a guy that was only a sophomore. We're happy to have him back for 2 more years. I thought he was our most improved player from beginning of the year to end. Just the way he crashed the offensive glass, just how active he was. He brought a lot to our team and really sacrificed a lot, to help us have the season that we had. And then lastly, a guy, Tyler Goslinga, that's been in our program for 3 years now. I was proud that, he worked hard and was able to get himself to, play meaningful minutes for us. He did a really good job in the minutes that he was given. So, again, to have the type of season that we did, it doesn't happen without a lot of good performances.
And talk about just the progression of the season for you guys. It started out, if you look before the season, so much talent on this team. John Taylor, National Junior College Player of the Year. Malcolm Griffin, stud at Toledo. You brought in Matt Samuels, a guy from Chicago State, another Division I school. But it took some time for this team to gel. It didn't happen right away, and that is often the case in sports. But just talk about from the beginning where this team was to that point where you guys won 16 out of 17 games and were on an absolute hot streak heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, Christmas break we were 6-5, and that was 11 games where we definitely had some good performances, but also struggled at times. We kept, as a staff, telling our team that, hey, stick with what we're doing, and eventually things are going to come together. We have too many good players, and things are going to click. And after we got drilled at Azusa, just a terrible performance. And, we came home against Grand Canyon and decisively won that game. And that, in my mind, changed our season. We went on to win 15 out of 16 games. And, there weren't too many games in that stretch that were even close. And so, that's a credit to our assistant coaches and to the players that we had.
And talk about next year for you guys. What are you guys looking forward to? You got a lot of replacing to do with the seniors that left. Just talk about the expectations for you next season, your second year in the Pac West.
Well, we finished second place this year. I don't expect there to be a drop-off at all next season. We do lose a lot of talented, valuable pieces. But, we got to get out on the road and recruit and bring in quality guys that are going to fit our school and that are going to fit, into what we're trying to do as a program. We have a lot of key pieces back that I'm excited to watch next year. But, it's going to be a good season. But no doubt, the difference between this year and next year is that, we'll have a target on our back. Finishing the season how we did, finishing in second place. So it's going to be a fun challenge. I'm excited for it.
All right, Coach, congratulations on a fantastic 2012-2013 season for Fresno Pacific Athletics. And for head coach Chris Wright, I'm Brandon Tripp.
Bringing you your highlights this week is Brandon Tripp.
Fresno Pacific looking to move on to the semifinals of the NCCAA National Championship Tournament, taking on 8-19 Roberts Wesleyan. Early on, the Redhawks showing they are much better than their record. Patrick Downer comes up with the loose ball here for the bucket. Roberts starts the game on an 8-0 run. The Sunbirds trying to find some rhythm, and Antonio Credit recovers the block shot and knocks it down. He finished with 10 points. Devin Grimes answers back with the and-one scoop shot, 3 of his 22 for the Redhawks. But tonight was all about John Taylor. The junior guard from Chicago went off. He started with back-to-back threes, then gets some help from Malcolm Griffin, who rips it away from Grimes, then dishes it ahead to Taylor for the breakaway lay-in, one of Griffin's 9 dimes on the night. Then the Sunbirds pushing once again, this time Matt Samuels with the feed to the cutting Taylor. And then it's Ricky Vick, the senior, getting his turn. Knocks down the triple. He hits double digits with 12, and FPU goes up by 10. And how about some defense from Anthony Brandt with the steal and the pass ahead to, yeah, you guessed it, Taylor. He finished the first half with 29 points, and he wasn't even close to done. In the second half, Redhawks have the lead down to 6, but Taylor with the pump and go gets the contact and the bucket. He knocked down 14 of 18 free throws on the night. We're all tied up at 92 now, and Griffin goes in for the lay-in. He had 17. Roberts Wesleyan trying to stay in it, but Taylor too much again with the and one. He breaks the school record of 46 with that one, set back in 1969 by Don Jones. Taylor here with point number 50. Yeah, you heard me right. He scored that on just 23 shots, shooting 70% from the floor. And the Sunbirds move on to face number 5 Shorter in the semifinals tomorrow.
I'm glad we got the win. We started the game off kind of bad. We was in the hole down like 11 or 12, and once we started getting our rhythm back, we started to play, and I think that if we would have played a little more defense or played harder on defense, the game would have been a lot better for us.
You know, the name of the game in tournaments is to win and advance, and we did that. It was definitely not a pretty game by us by any stretch of the imagination. You know, we scored a lot of points, but I didn't think we played well offensively, to be honest. It's going to take a lot better effort against Shorter tomorrow night. You know, I've got travel legs out, and you know, we just got to play a much better game tomorrow night.
I don't think they surprised us. I mean, this basketball. You'll have players that can do the same things you do. Well, I had 48. Coach was telling me why not score 50, so I just scored 50.
That's pretty special. And he was phenomenal tonight. 50 points off 23 shots. You can't really beat that. He was as good as it gets. He made huge play after huge play down the stretch.
Earlier today, I was telling the guys that I was going to put on the show today, and I guessed it. I don't know. It just happened. I was just playing.
You know, Shorter is extremely athletic, and they're very talented. It could be as talented team as we played all year long. So we're going to have to defend them much. Again, we're going to have to defend. Can't let them shoot 52% from the field, that's for sure. And you know, it should be a fun, entertaining game. I'm confident that we'll be ready, though.
John Taylor coming off his 50-point outburst in round one, taking on quite possibly the toughest 5 seed you will ever see in Shorter. And the Hawks got right to it. Dedrick Ware stops, thinks about it, and pulls the trigger to knock it down. Malcolm Griffin on the other end answers right back with the jumper that hits every part of the rim before it falls. We're all tied up at 2. Then Taylor picking up where he left off with the floater in the lane up over the Hawks. But Shorter had it going early. Ware misses the jumper, but Kenny Leverett tips it back. He finished with 14. Sunbirds trying to get back into it, and Antonio Credit gets his shot blocked, comes down with the rebound, and goes back up for the bucket. Credit finished with 9 points for FPU, but it was the other big in the game who had a monster night. Anthony Banks with the hook over the right shoulder gets it to go. He had 28 to lead all Hawks. Griffin back on the other end with the up and under move. Then Taylor in transition with the pull-up 3, knocks it down, and one more time Griffin lays it in. Sunbirds down 15, though, at the break. In the second half, FPU battled back, starting on the defensive end, and the step-back jumper here by Griffin didn't hurt. He finished with a game-high 29. Then Taylor in transition with the lay-in brings the Sunbirds to within 4, but the Hawks were too much, and the Sunbirds fell 1 game short of a national title as they fall 104-95.
It's a heartbreaking loss. You know, I feel for our seniors and really for our whole team. I thought they left their whole heart out there. It's been real easy today. You know, down 15 at half, down 20 at some points of the game. You know, to battle back and make it a competitive game. I'm proud of them. But you know, there's a lot of things. If you told me before the game that we were going to out-rebound them, I would take that. You know, in the second half, you know, we held them to 40% shooting. Problem is, we gave up 52% in the first half. You know, I'm proud of the season we have. You know, this is kind of a unique tournament because we get, you know, to one more game after the loss. It's kind of a 3rd and 4th place game here, and you know, we want to finish off the season on a high note. You know, we want to finish strong with what we started. And for us to get to 22 wins in a year where really, you know, no one really predicted us to do much, I think it's pretty special. And you know, I love our team, and I'm proud of what they accomplished. You know, it makes the day hurt that much more.
Fresno Pacific coming off a big series win over number 24 Cal State LA, looking to get 2 more wins against La Sierra, and that is exactly what they did. Top of the first inning in La Sierra with runners on the corners, but that's no trouble for John Korthoff and Brett Bishop. Korthoff catches the runner trying to steal second, and Bishop lays the tag down, and the Sunbirds get out of a jam. 3rd inning of game 1, and Baron Bauer takes one square in the back to lead off the inning, but it proved to be worth it as Kahua Gaspar singles to right field. He brings home Bauer and the first run of the game. Sunbirds up 2-0, and take a look at this. John Korthoff with a shot to left gets the ground rule double, but the Sunbirds leave 2 stranded in the inning and come up empty. Ryan Cheek on the mound for FPU in game 1, and he was dealing. He scattered 4 hits across 7 innings with 4 strikeouts and no walks to the Golden Eagles. Bottom 6 now, and Devin Lee scores on the wild pitch from Scott McEnroe. That made it 4-0, and then the bottom of the 7th, Brett Bishop pouring it on. He gets the single to center. That plates 2 more for a 7-0 lead. Fresno Pacific added 1 more in the inning and took game 1 8-0. In game 2, Sunbirds picked up right where they left off. The first inning got started with a single by Devin Lee, and then Gaspar gets a single down the right field line. That would score Lee and Steven Lozier. Gaspar went a combined 5 for 6 on the day between the 2 games. Still in the first, and Alan Sandoval takes one on the leg. Golden Eagles pitchers walked or hit
21 different batters between the two games.
On the mound, it was James Ligorio, the sophomore, getting his first collegiate start. He also got his first collegiate win as he threw a one-hitter through 5 innings while striking out 5 La Sierra batters. And the Sunbirds went on to win Game 2 10-0.
This last weekend was a real big weekend for us. Cal State LA is a very tough team. So, and to go over on the road and win 2 out of 3 at their place to take the series, it was a big moment in our season.
It was great. I mean, we came out right off the bat, scored 9 runs in the first inning, kind of took the pressure off me. So I just went out there and did what we practiced all fall and all spring. So kind of just stuck to the plan and executed.
Ryan Cheek and James Ligorio were, that's exactly what we wanted from them, and what our team needed. They gave it to us. They pounded the zone, which is what you want to see, and they mixed their pitches when necessary and fielded their position quick to the plate. You know, they did a lot of things that is going to make our coaching staff really think going forward about, you know, what their role should be. I mean, that was exactly what we needed.
And you don't go on the mound worrying about having to not give up a hit or an extra run to lose the game. You kind of just settle in and do what you've practiced to do all year and just execute pitches and get a quality win. So it was fun.
These 4 games in conference coming up are huge. I mean, this is an opportunity for us to get back into the top of the conference where we want to be. And it's going to take some discipline in the whole roster to contribute. And we took the first 2 steps of the week. You know, we've got 2 wins at home, and we took care of business at home like we're supposed to. And we've got to finish that week out.
Thanks, Brandon. Last Friday, baseball knocked off number 24 Cal State LA on their home field 6-5. Ryan Custodio came in on relief and threw 4 scoreless innings for the Sunbirds in the comeback win. FPU split a doubleheader the next day to earn a big series win over one of the top teams in the CCAA. The Sunbirds blew open Game 2 in the 5th and ran off 7 unanswered runs in the 11-3 win. The Golden Eagles screamed back in Game 3, scoring the first 8 runs of the game on their way to an 8-2 win. The track team dominated the Johnny Mathis Invitational last Saturday, where the ladies claimed the top 4 spots in the triple jump. Malika Tuivanuovo took first, followed by Sarah Hill, Rachel Ng, and Nicole Buttonshone. The men also brought the heat with Eugene Vollmer taking first amongst college participants. FPU alumni Ethan DeYoung beat out Vollmer as an unattached athlete, while DeYoung trains for the 2016 Olympics. Dallas Nord took an impressive overall 16th place, while Courtney Smith and Glenn Lyon both posted personal records for their throwing events. For the first time in the program's 7+ season history, both the men and women's tennis teams fell to Azusa. Both matches came down to the final singles match when both teams lost by an identical score of 4-5. Women's soccer announced their 2013 signing class, including the track player of the year for 2013, Alyssa Nagaguchi. For a full list of signees, check out the story on fpuathletics.com. The men's water polo team also announced a big signing class. The Sunbirds landed Fresno Bee Player of the Year and All-American Connor Cookingham from Clovis High. Springtime is officially upon us, and you know what that means, right? Warm weather and a healthy dose of Sunbird sporting events. So get your iced tea and grab a friend and head on out to the closest sport. Friday, women's water polo is traveling to Bakersfield to take part in the CSU Bakersfield tournament. Whistles will sound for their first game against CSU Bakersfield at 10 a.m., and the second game starts at 1 p.m. against Brown. Bats will be cracking in San Francisco when baseball gears up for their 4-game series against Academy of Art. The Sunbirds will play in doubleheaders on both Friday and Saturday against the Urban Knights. Also on Saturday, track and field will travel over to Santa Barbara to test their skills when they compete in the Westmont Classic. We wish all of the Sunbirds the best of luck, so don't forget to get out there and support your Fresno Pacific athletes. Remember, you can stay up to date with all the latest news, scores, and highlights for the Sunbirds at fpuathletics.com and on Twitter at fpusunbirds. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll see you next time right here on Inside Fresno Pacific Athletics.